Hello everyone, this is Wake Up Call. Fast news. Worldwide first. Today, 2025. US-India trade crisis explained. How we got here, what's at stake, and what comes next. Tariffs have soared, diplomacy is fraying, and millions of jobs could hang in the balance. Let's break it down. The tension began earlier in 2025 when the Trump administration imposed reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods. But that was only the start. Soon, Washington added a second 25% tariff, bringing the total to 50%, citing India's continued import of Russian oil and alleged unfair trade practices. India pushed back strongly, calling the move unjustified and saying it couldn't simply sever energy ties in volatile global markets. At the same time, rumors swirled that India might pause or cancel certain defense procurements from the US, though the Indian Ministry of Defense later denied such actions. In effect, the crisis is not just about trade, it's about energy policy, strategic autonomy, and geopolitics. Let's look at what's at risk and where the pressure points lie. A. Exports and jobs in India. The US is a major export destination for Indian goods, textiles, jewelry, seafood, machinery. Tariffs up to 50% suddenly make many shipments unprofitable. Many small and medium manufacturers could be hit hardest. B. Impact on US consumers and supply chains. Tariffs don't stay on India's side, they ripple back. US firms relying on Indian parts or inputs might see costs rise. Also, politically, it's harder for Washington to defend one-sided trade pain. Several US lawmakers have called for resetting ties. C. Energy and Russia factor. A. Central trigger. India's continued oil imports from Russia. Trump viewed that as an affront to Western sanctions on Moscow. For India, energy security is vital. You can't ration fuel in a country of 1.4 billion without consequences. D. Defense and strategic partnership. The US-India relationship for decades has included defense deals, joint exercises, and strategic alignment in the Indo-Pacific. The crisis puts that at risk. If trust erodes, the strategic partnership may suffer. E. Diplomacy and global image. India, as a rising global power, doesn't want to appear cowed, and the US, especially under Trump, stakes prestige on being a fair trader. The public and media narratives matter. So where do things stand right now? Indian Prime Minister Modi and President Trump recently spoke. Both called for good progress in negotiations. India has extended the deadline to import US LPG, cooking gas, under its first joint tender, an energy move that might diffuse trade imbalance tensions. Meanwhile, global bodies like the World Bank warn that US tariffs could slow South Asia growth next year. Inside the US, Congress, including Democrats, is pushing Trump to reset diplomatic ties with India, arguing the tariff escalation backfires on American interests. All these are signals that neither side wants a permanent collapse, but reconciliation will be tricky. Here are possible paths the crisis might take. Scenario 1. Diplomatic deal and rollback. Trump agrees to soften or remove some tariffs in exchange for India limiting its Russian imports or opening more sectors to US trade defense. Restores trust. Scenario 2. Long Cold War. With partial escalation tariffs stay, India pivots further to non-Western partners, Russia, China, EU. Strategic ties fray. Defense deals slow. Scenario 3. Tit-for-tat retaliation. India imposes counter-tariffs or barriers on US goods counter services. The conflict widens, affecting multilateral trade regimes. Risks to watch. Loss of foreign investment, supply chain disruption for high-tech firms. Strategic realignment. India leaning more toward BRICS or China. Erosion of trust in long-term US-India projects. Also, regaining structural trust after such escalation is not quick. Experts warn it could take years. New trade negotiation rounds. Who concedes what? Energy import deals, especially US LPG, gas, statements by US Congress. Democrats pushing for rollback India's announcements on defense contracts or foreign partnerships, recalibration of India's foreign policy, more alignment with non-Western powers. Wrap up and takeaway. The 2025 US-India trade crisis is more than just tariffs. It's a test of trust, strategic alignment, and global influence. For India, it's balancing energy, sovereignty, and diplomacy. For the US, it's protecting trade leverage without alienating a key partner. The next moves will likely be incremental, but they could define the tone of US-India relations for the decade. If you liked this deep dive, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more global news explained. I'm Sandy from Wake Up Call, Fast News Worldwide First. See you in the next video, where we bring truth before the trend.